Hey guys, and welcome to your weekly news overview for Battlefield 2042 with all the things that are interesting in and around the game. And we got a bit of stuff to cover today, from the latest podcast to the end of the current season, so let's get right in. First of all, we got a new episode of the Inside Battlefield podcast yesterday, where Nika and Bruce from the season's development team explained Redux again and gave us some additional details to it. They said that the intent of Redux is to bring back the limited time modes and their rewards due to popular requests from players, especially from the ones who missed the original events. But the modes also got some tweaks and changes based on the feedback to their original version. For example, for Tactical Conquest, we will only get to play the bigger 16v16 mode instead of the 8v8 it had originally, and Shutdown will have a completely new player count of 12 versus 12 that it hadn't had before. In addition, new maps were added to most of the modes, for example Breakthrough Chaos in the Battle of Nordvik, which was previously only available on Spearhead, will now also be playable on Discarded, Hourglass, Kaleidoscope, Orbital and Renewal. And that's pretty similar for the other modes as well. Even Reclaimed is included a lot. We will also see more weather effects happen during the middle of matches, especially in the bigger modes like Breakthrough Chaos, and according to the devs, this plays pretty well, but I'm honestly a bit skeptical here, because the weather effects are mostly distracting and add even more chaos to already chaotic modes, so it remains to be seen if this really is an improvement. Throughout Redux, you will also be able to earn 3 rewards every week, some of them new and some of them returning, and the new ones are mainly taken from bundles that have been available in the store before, and this is definitely a point of criticism for me, because I don't know how I would feel if I bought something back then for real money, thinking it's unique to the event, and now it returns basically for free. But then again, they probably hadn't had much time to set this event up and create new rewards, and this is still better than no rewards at all for the players who already experienced the original events. What's nice to see on the other hand is that we can earn the ribbons to unlock the rewards in all game modes now and not only in the event mode. So if you don't like to play the mode of the week, you can just play any other mode and still unlock the event rewards, which is a good improvement. And one thing I quickly want to point out here is that Redux is not part of a season, unlike the mid-season events. Instead, it's a standalone event, because some people seem to get this wrong. So next Tuesday, August 29, Season 5 ends and the Redux event starts. This means there won't be any battle pass or weekly missions to complete for the next 6 weeks, and you cannot keep working on your Season 5 battle pass during Redux. We will still have double XP weekends though that take place every other week during the event, it just doesn't count towards a battle pass anymore. As for the returning Easter eggs, I'm not sure how they will do it. It was confirmed that these will come back, but they didn't say when and how. I personally think they will be enabled alongside the start of Redux, and then you have the following 6 weeks to complete them. And it also sounds like all of the Easter egg rewards will be re-enabled, because previously you were only able to unlock the player cards if you've missed out on the Easter egg timeframe, but not the cosmetics anymore. But this seems to change with Redux. However, I'll let you know once we have any more details to it, so be sure to keep an eye on the channel. Alongside of the event, we will also see a few updates with changes, improvements and bug fixes, and the recent podcast episode also gave us a sneak peek to some of them. So there will be a balance pass for engineers to make sure people keep using them and to make them more fun to play, which sounds a lot like a buff to me. On top of that, the maneuverability of the attack helis and hovercrafts will be improved, which means attack helis are going to be slightly easier to pilot, but really only slightly, and hovercrafts will have less drift. They are supposed to have drift, but right now it's a bit too much, so they will tweak it a little. They are also looking to bring these maneuverability changes to other vehicles in the future, but details about this will follow once the time has come. In addition, there will be a so-called codex edit that you can access through the main menu, and here you will be able to learn more about the different characters of Battlefield 2042 and about the game's lore and narrative. If you played Battlefield 1 already, you might know the codex from this game, so I assume it will be similar. Besides this, they were also briefly talking about the new map that Season 6 will come with, but there was not much new to take from it. They said once again that it will be a unique new battleground which harbors some very dark secrets, and that it's very spooky and dark and you're going to be confronting your fear of the unknown, which pretty much sounds like a night map to me. According to the two developers, the map is one of the team's favorites in internal playtests, but they said this about every other map before, so let's see how it plays once it was released. And that was it for the podcast so far. Something else that I found interesting and worth to be included in this video is that some developers from older days have just returned to DICE. For example, David Zerland, who worked on Battlefield 1 and 5 before and was working on the Battle Royale game Bloodhunt in between, and David Hassel, who also worked on Battlefield 1 and 5 if I remember correctly, and is returning from Ubisoft. Both of them seem to work on the next Battlefield now, which is good news, cause it looks like they try to bring back devs that have more experience with the franchise, and I still know both of them from the very early days of this channel where I was doing a bit of content on and off to Battlefield 1 and 5, and I'm actually happy to see such great talents return. Besides this, there is nothing new this week, no leaks, updates or anything else, which is also connected to the delay of Season 6. But am I disappointed? No, actually not. On one hand, because I'm looking forward to Redux, since I liked most of the event modes and they didn't come back frequently in Portal, so I'm happy to be able to play them again. And on the other hand, because it allows me to work on some other content than the usual season stuff and maybe fit in some streams. Plus, it's a nice change from rushing through the seasons, content-wise. Don't get me wrong, I love what I do here and I'm more than grateful to spend most of my time doing this, but a bit of a change for a few weeks is not bad at all. But now let's have a look at the last week of Season 5 and everything we got alongside of it, starting with the modes. And here's where it still gets a little bit exciting, cause Control is back, the mode we know from the last mid-season event. It was added to the tab of Rush and TDM, and this mode will be available every other week from now on throughout the Redux event. From what I've seen, there were no major changes made to it, but I've also haven't had the chance to play it much before doing this video. Definitely a nice decision from DICE to bring back this fan favorite. In addition, we also got Rush XL, so if you're in for chaos, this is your week. And over in Portal, we got Bad Company 2 Deja Vu and Conquest Hardcore. Also, two modes that are very rare in the rotation. Deja Vu is a 64-player mix of Conquest and Rush, played on several maps with the soldiers and gear of Bad Company 2, and Conquest Hardcore should be pretty much self-explanatory. It's a 64-player mode set on several maps of all eras, but with limited hot elements and increased damage. On Friday, this one will be replaced by a community spotlight called Headhunter, where you will only be able to deal damage with headshots. Over at the item store, there is nothing new this time, no bundle, no free items, no discounts, nothing. And the only thing that seems to be in the spotlight is this Exodus Specialist kit, with which you can instantly unlock all 4 of the season specialists. But I'm pretty sure this was already in the store before and was just not on the start page. And at the end, there are the last weekly missions for Season 5, and these are pretty easy this time. In the first section, you have to revive 5 teammates, spot 20 enemies, but when you play as Recon, every spotting counts twice, and earn 3 ribbons. In the second section, you then need to do 30 kills, assists, and revives, inflict 200 damage with shoulder-launched missiles, which is the M5, RPG, FXM, Javelin, and LIS-TV missile, and do 5 defensive kills in Conquest. And here it's pretty nice that they finally mentioned that you need to do these kills in Conquest, because otherwise they won't count. So get onto an objective your team has fully captured and defend it against enemy intruders. Then these kills should be done in no time. Once the second section is unlocked, you have to win 1 round of any game mode, do 30 smoke, spot or vehicle assists or concealed revives, and capture or neutralize 25 objectives. For the bonus mission, you then simply need to capture or neutralize another 3 objectives, but within 1 round. So Conquest is your best friend this week. If you should be struggling with any of the missions, you can do them in one of my Portal experiences against AI as usual, and if you should be wondering if it's even worth it doing doing these last weekly missions when you are already done with the Battle Pass? Well, yes, at least until you have unlocked the season's Tier 1 badge. After this, it's not necessary anymore, but it's still fun to do. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, even though it's a bit later than usual, and if you did, be sure to drop a like or a comment below and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Until then, thanks for watching, and thanks to my members for the additional support. I'm the Catwoman, and you are awesome.